Hello, crafty friends. This is Anya General with Ink Paper Scissors. Today I'm sharing a card made with the products from day 17 of the Spellbinders Advent Calendar. I will also be using other dies from the calendar as I have challenged myself to create cards with stamps and dies from the Advent Calendar this year. The dies today are super functional. It looks like a piece of a film strip and can be used for so many things. As an example, you could die cut several of the same die and glue them next to each other on the card, and it will look like a film strip on a card. Or you could create a frame from it, since these are nesting dies. 4 dies were included in today's window, one of which is a small tag. I can see myself using this a lot. Here's the card that we will be making today. Let's get started on our card. For today's card, you will need the dies from day 17, day 14, and day 10. The only die we will not be using from the dog set is the heart. We will also be using the embossing folder that has a geometric shape. I will show that to you here in a second. If you are in the craft room, take your dies, embossing folder, and some paper and create with me. I decided to use monochromatic colors today. I picked 2 different shades of light blue cardstock for the background. I cut them into 1.5-inch strips, and then I'm using the embossing folder with the geometric shape to emboss on my 3 strips. I'm using a Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine and the Universal Plate system, which is the best on the market for embossing. Spellbinders has a list on their website to show you which sandwich you need for different brand embossing folders. For our purpose today, I'm using Platform Base A, Platform Top B, the embossing folder, and then the clear plate. After embossing my 3 strips, we're going to cut them down to the size that we need, and that is about 5 inches by 1.5 inches. We want to cut right along the edge of the embossing. If that is difficult to see, the trick that I have for you is to take a sticky note and align it with the edge of the embossing and letting about 1/2 inch of the sticky note drop off the paper, just like you're seeing me do here. Then, when you place that piece in your trimmer, align the edge of the sticky note with the metal edge of the cutter. The blade will cut your cardstock, but not the sticky note that is hanging off your paper. You could do the same thing on the opposite end of the cardstock to align the bottom also, but the bottom was easy enough to see since you're aligning the paper for a straight cut. You repeat the same process on the opposite edge of the embossing cardstock. The sides are easy enough to align once you cut the long edges off the cardstock. Repeat this process for all 3 pieces of cardstock, then cut enough off to make sure that your strips are about 5 inches by 1.5 inches. Then it's time to die cut our film strip and our dog. I'm showing you here that I'm always using my scraps. Here's my Totally Tiffany scrap file box. It's a Faline body bag with the 6x6 fab file pockets. I have them separated by color category, and this sits next to my desk so that I always look in there first. I have a pocket for glitter cardstock, metallic cardstock, and pattern paper also, even one for vellum. It helps me truly get the value out of my cardstock, as it is always my first go-to when I'm die cutting. Back to our project. While I'm assembling the dog, I will play some music for you, and I'll be back later in the video. Now that my die cut is assembled, it's time to put our card together. I'm taking an A2 card base and I'm making sure that the embossing strips leave the white border that I want on my card. Then I'm aligning them side by side to make sure that the pattern continues in the same order and that the edges are aligned. I'm taking some Spellbinders Best Craft tape, and when my pieces are aligned correctly, I use a piece of tape to keep them together on the back side of my cardstock. For interest, I put a slightly darker piece of cardstock in the middle. Once I have all 3 pieces aligned and secured together, I'm taking my Tim Holtz trimmer to trim the edges to make sure that they align perfectly. I'm putting glue on my cardstock and adhering the 3 pieces carefully to my A2 card base. Then it's time to do a little bit of ink blending. I'm taking my white film strip die cut and my blue ink blending brush, and I'm ink blending from the middle out. Since my die cut is moving on me, I took my Altenew sticky mat out to not have to hold down the die cut since it's so small and not easy to hold. The sticky mat is a must in every craft room. They have a smaller size also, but I could not find mine at that time. You want to use a light hand when ink blending on your die cut, as you can always add more ink but not take any away. I used only the ink that was left on my brush. I did not dip my brush into an ink pad because that would automatically bring too much ink to my die cut. This is creating a spotlight for my dog. After I finished ink blending my die cut, it's time to put some foam tape on the back of my film strip die cut and my little dog. Then I'm just moving my pieces around the card to see where I want them to be and gluing the greeting onto the card. I am using the embossed grid on my cardstock to help me place my greeting straight and with the same spacing. Lastly, I'm adding some Spellbinders Crystal Gem Mix to my card, and my card is finished. The Spellbinders Color Essential Gems that I'm using are the Crystal Mix 108, and they come in 4 sizes: 2mm, 3mm, 4mm, and 5mm. They have 2 different types of gems in the package. Thank you for watching my video and spending your time with me. I hope this video inspires you to create something today. Please press the like button so YouTube shares this video with others. I would also love it if you would subscribe to my channel so you are notified when I post another video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I usually reply pretty quickly. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.